Namaste everyone and welcome back to this another video. I'm Akash Roy, aka Jungli Jaden. Yeah, Jaden will be fine. So, uh, in the previous video, I just explained the basic overviews of Blueprint, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to create a blueprint, how to place that blueprint into the level, and few other things regarding the blueprint, like what are the functions, variables, and few other things. So let's just start by creating our own blueprint. So here I am going to create my own folder by right clicking new folder and rename it to blueprint, blueprints. Okay, quick thing first, I'm going to set a color. Yep, double click on it, again right click on this blueprints folder and select the blueprint class asset. Then it will shows the pop-up window to pick a parent class. And why is that? Because every blueprint has their own predefined functions or the properties regarding to whatever the parent we are going to choose. If we choose the actor, pawn, character, or actor component or other things, so there are some set of roles which differentiate each other or make them unique. So I'm not going to talk all this class parent class right now, so we'll just go with the actor class now. So I'm going to rename BP my actor. Okay, just open it. You already get familiar with this interface in from the previous video, so I'm not going to explain it again in today's video. So quick thing first, again we are going to add a component, a normal cube. So yep, it's visible here. So I am browsing through the ASDW key, holding right click on the mouse. So you can see in the viewport we have this cube into our blueprint. So now whenever I'm placing this blueprint into the level, this cube will be visible there. So let's jump into the event graph. So in the event graph, by default there are three events are already there: event begin play, event actor begin overlap, and the event tick. So again I'm not explaining the event overlap right now, so I'm just removing it by pressing delete or backspace in the keyboard. So what is the event? Event is the thing, or we can say it is, it represents the thing which is going to be happen. So if we put our set of rules or logic into the blueprint, so if we connect to this particular event or any other custom event, so that thing will going to be execute into the our level or the game. So they have their own like unique thing about them. So event begin play, this will execute at the very beginning of the play, like when we hit the play button or when we play the game. This thing which is connected to event begin play will execute the very first, like it's above everything. Like if I put some logic here and connected to the event begin play, as soon as I play the hit button, all the logic which is connected to event begin play will execute the very first, then rest of the code or the rest of logic will execute. So that's the different. And what is the event tick? We can say it's exact opposite of the event begin play. So it will execute only event begin play only execute at a single time at the very first of the play, and event tick execute continuously until the game or the setup is terminated or exit. It is responsible for executing the particular logic every frame of your game. So let's suppose if we have a 60 fps game and it will execute that 60 fps in 1 second. Like in 1 second it will execute that particular command or set of rules in 60 times. So it's quite heavy, it's a performance heavy. So it's up to you. Whenever we are going to use, be careful when we use event take, because it can make your project heavier than anything. And yeah, it's quite useful for finding the bugs or checking the overall progress of your logic, like okay, how it is working, if there is some glitch there or not. So it depends on the case how we're going to use. So that's the events. And again, Unreal follows the color coding to represent or explain or differentiate all these events, nodes, variable, function by using all this color code. So this is third person character. So you can see there are red, green, blue, black, grayish, and other kind of color you can see. So all these color represent their own type of data, own type of node, functions, or events. So basically event only show through this right arrow and this red one node. And let's just jump into the variables. So how to create a variable first, and what are the variable? So variable is a value, we can say, that can change over time depending on the conditions. Like if I created a health variable and if I want to change that variable when I got hit or I'm injured, so that health variable can decrease its amount. Like now I have the 100, and when I got hit my health is 90, then again I got hit, my health is 80, like that. So it depends on the condition, and it changed according to the condition as well. So how you create the variables and why we need the variables? Variable stores the data. So let's suppose I give the example of health and all. So if you are making a game and we have to store the data of the player, like what is the health and what's his power, how much mana he has left, and how much money or the coins or other things he has. So we are going to store all those data using the variable. So how we create a variable? So if we come to this my blueprint tab, we have this variable thing. So we can create a variable by plus clicking on here, and it will ask to name the variable. So I'm just going to the rename it health and just click anywhere. Now we can see we have created this health variable, and in the details tab we can see the details of the variable. Like variable name is health, variable type is boolean. So again we have here the list of variable types. So if we click on this expandable button, we got all this set of list of the variable type. So every type represent the different data type. So by default we have this boolean one. So boolean holds only two data, whether it's true or whether it's false. So either it's yes or no kind of thing. Then we have this byte, integer, float, name, string, text, transform, rotator, vector, so on. So again, according to our need, which kind of variable or which kind of data we are going to store into the variable, it depends on that. For the health, I'm just going to need the integer so that I can hold the player health in this. So integer is a whole sum number. It's not that decimal point. It only holds number which is whole number, like 1 2 3, not the decimal one. So I can hold the player's health in the manner of that. Like now it is 100, then it will decrease by 10 or 1 or whatsoever. Then we have this default value section here, but it won't visible until we compile or until we tell the blueprint, okay, now I have to store the player's variable data here or the default value. So all the settings is not necessary now. I will explain again in the upcoming videos. You can expand and see other details as well, but those are not necessary right now. So I'm going to compile this. So when I hit compile, the default value section will appear here, and we can add our own default health variable. So click here, tada! Now we can add the value 100 and again compile it. So now we have the health variable and it has the value of 100. So whenever I just call this health variable into the blueprint, it will come here. So how to add into the event graph? So just click, drag and drop, release, then select the get health. So it will give you this node, which is our health variable, and it holds the data of 100. So if I click here, so it will show that okay, we have the health variable and our health is 100. So you notice, like, when I just drag and drop this variable into the event graph, it will ask whether I have to choose get health or set health. So what are those two things? So that is the thing. In the programming, we have this two things like getter or setter. So if we choose the get health, it will only read the variable or read this thing. It will won't change that, or we can't write on that. And same opposite, or the opposite for the set. If we choose the set, so it will give us this health variable which allow us to rewrite or write the variable. So now I have 100, I can make it 500. So this is the read data type, or this is the write data type. Or in other words, we can say like this set only retrieve the information from the variable, get, sorry, the get retrieve the information from the variable, and set assigning the new variable data type or the new variable data. So those are the difference between get and set. And let's create another variable for mana. Okay, and for the mana, I am going to change the variable type to the float. mm, I can use the float. Okay, so again, what is the float? Float is a value which holds a decimal value. It's a variable which holds a number or store the information up to the decimal point. And again, now right now we don't have any by default value here. So again, we have to compile here. Then we can set a value here. So you can see like it's already come into the decimal point. So I can put here like mana would be 150%, and if I again compile, you can see the decimal point here as well. So again, for the mana, we can put set and get as well. So if I want to put 555.5, yep, it will hold the decimal value. So you can see the color differentiate here as well. So the and again, we are going to create a variable for the alive. I'm going to name it alive and going to make it a boolean. So this alive is checking for whether the player is alive or not, he is dead or not. And again, release this. Again, we have to set our by default value like, okay, is he alive? If I check this, it would be false automatically. So if I check this, like my player is dead. If I don't check, that means my player is alive. So again, I can get alive and I can set alive. And sorry for that. Yep, you can see all this color differentiate. I already mentioned you in the previous video, like it follows in this video as well. It follows the color coding to differentiate all those data types in blueprint. So we have this integer, boolean, and the float. Now we are going to create one more variable type, which is like the name. So click change the value and took the name. So again we have to compile to put the name. So if I just come here and my name, so it's a Jaden. So yep, again get name and the set name, sorry, get name and set name. Okay, so here is one more shortcut. If you hold the control and select the variable and drag and drop, it will get you the node, sorry. And if you hold the alt and drag and drop, it will set your variable. So you can use any of those method, just drag and drop, then select, or just control or alt hold and drag and drop. Okay, so again in the set I put my name Akash Roy. Okay, so in here I have the Jaden, and in this set one I have the Jaden, but I'm going to overwrite or rewrite it using this Akash Roy one. So we'll get to know all these things in the next one. Don't worry. Then for this text one, we have two more one. One is the string, and for the name, let's suppose what we can say, level village. Let's just call it village. So we have this string. So string is a collection of the alphabets. So it gives, wait, again I have to compile it so that we can print this string. It's very it's very peaceful village. Peaceful village. Okay, so now my message will come with this string. So get village. Then again, if you want to override your message, you can here print it. Okay, then we have one more variable, which is let's just, not the country, message. Now I'm going to change the variable type to the text. Again, namaste, compile it and drag and drop to the here, set message, get message, and this is again the string one. So yep, you all can see the color difference. It is almost similar, but yeah, they have some variations of the color, gradients of the color, so that's make them different from the others. So that's how we create the variables, and we can use into our logic or our blueprint. And yep, I already show you like how to store the default value to the variable and how to override or rewrite the variable using the set value, set variable. So that's a normal of like basics of the variables. There are few other types of variable like vector, transform, and rotation, and other struct, interface, enum, and object type. So I'll going to explain or cover those things in the next or the upcoming videos as well. Right now I'm just explaining the basics one. So once we are done with the variable, let's just talk about the function. So again, what is the function? Function is a set of rules which can be reusable as many time as we want into our level. Let's suppose if we created a rule into the function. So how to create a function? Let's just click this function icon and my player ability, or not the player ability, we can say the, let's just go with the player ability. So I will create the player ability. Now I have the full control of this function. I can put my own like logic here. Let's just say I just drag the health, I just drag the mana, player is alive, player's name is here. So all these things will come into the player ability. Yep, we can add into the player ability. So whenever I call this player ability, it will give me all this four information regarding the player. So if I come to the event graph, and if I just drag and drop this player function, it will return, or it will give me the information about the player's ability and give me all this four information. So I don't need to drag and drop all this health, mana, alive and name thing like for every time whenever I call the player ability function. So when I just double click on this player ability, it will take me to the function directly. So you can see like this will save your space as well. So let's suppose if you want to connect with the event begin play, you just directly connect there. Otherwise you need to call the health, alive, mana and the name every 4 times whenever you call the event begin play. So that's very useful. Functions are very easy to useful. It will saves your time, and it those are reusable. You can use within the blueprint, like I created this player ability for this blueprint, and I can even call this player ability through the other blueprint as well. So again, those things will be covered in the upcoming videos. So this is the function. So yep, functions are very easy to use. It will save your time and make little less mess of your event graph. So that's the function. And let me show you one more quick thing, like how to read or show this data as well. So if I just compile and see, so event begin play and event tick. So there is one more node which is basically used for debugging or showing like okay whether this my blueprint is working or not, and which is print string. So if you drag the node from here and search for the print string, and you can find it here, or you can just right click and search for it, print, sorry, not the print sound, print string. So yep, here it is. I'm just going to move little down here. Okay, so you can see print string is a predefined function which you can identify using this blue F which is written over there. So this is the function. F represent the function in blueprint, and you can see like it can take the input of string data type, which is this one. So that's very useful to recognize, identify with the color coding. So you can see like which data type is acceptable here. So if I just try to connect this one, so first thing it will indicate like, oh, this is not the exact data type, which is, or it is wrong data type. So first it is has to be convert into the string. So if I connect here, so you can see there is a one converter node which is converting integer into the string. Same for the other color code as well. So this is not the right color, so it will again convert this to the exact data type. Same for this, same for that as well. So that's very useful to recognize or understand like okay which node is taking which type of data type of the variable. So for the event begin play, I'm going to print a message like hey, it's working. What is wrong with my typing? It's working. And again I have to compile it, and I have compiled, then I'm using this browse icon because it's very useful full. Then let me first this one. Okay, now I'm going to place this blueprint to the level. So here it is placed. Okay, when I hit the play, you can see, hey, it's working. The message comes here and it disappears because of its property. So if we expand this print string, you can see there are some other control features as well. Like we can change the text color. If you don't want this blue one, you can choose the red one. Then the duration of the text. So I'm going to increase by 5 seconds, compile again and play again. And you can say, hey, it's working. Now it's not disappearing very fast. Now it's disappear after 5 seconds. So that's the way to check whether this particular function is working or not. Then I'm going to show the event tick. Okay, so I'm connecting event tick here. Going to change into the green. mm, ah it doesn't matter. Little up, duration again doesn't matter. So now I'm not going to pass the custom message, I'm going to one of our variable to pass the message. So when I connect this village to in string input, so you will see like this village has its own data by default, like hey, it's a very peaceful village. So when I connect here, it will print this message like it's very peaceful village. So again I have to compile and I have to run, and now you'll get to know like, okay, this will execute 60 times per second. So when I hit the play, you can see like, yep, at the very first, the red one, which is even begin play, now it's printing every frame. It doesn't matter like how you play the game or anything, it will execute every frame, every single frame 60 times per second. So if I press escape, you can see it's not longer printing the messages. So that's the event tick. And same for the other data types. So let me show you a thing. Like if I want to print string, again I'm going to duplicate it by Control W, or you can just right click and duplicate it. Then again I'm going to connect from here to here, and I already mentioned like it will follow the execution order from very left to right. So it will execute this first, then this and this and this whatsoever. So now I'm going to print all my variables one by one. So let's just print this health one first. It will convert into the string, then it will print. Then again I'm using this mana, it will convert, then it will, I am going to copy it again, then again, are you alive? And it will say, yeah, I'm alive. Okay, so see, that's why I'm talking about why it is really important to create a function. So if we have all this logic in one function, so it will very useful to use the function, but it's just for the practice, so don't worry about it. For the compile, I'm not to disconnect this event tick, otherwise it will overwrite all these things. So be careful and just take a look. So first it will say like, hey, it's working. Then it will print the player health, then it will print the mana, then it will say, hey, I'm alive. So hey, so it's working. Oh, it disappeared very fast. So 5 second, 5 second, 5 second. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so again, so you can see, hey, it's working. The health is 100, the mana is 150, and are you alive? False, because he's not alive, because we didn't check the mark. So sorry for that. So now it's alive. Compile, save, and play again. Yep, hey, it's working. Health is 100, mana is 150, and he's alive. True. And if you want to override all these things, then we can use this set method. So let's just use this health one. Now I'm just making some space here. I'm just going to delete this one and this one. So now here you can say I can connect you here. It doesn't really require. So now the health is 500. So if I compile play, so you can say 100 health is 500. So we just updated the health using the set method. We just assign the new value here of the health. Same for the mana, we can do for the mana. This is the mana, and I'm just going to remove quickly. mm, just going to attach here, and now mana is 150 to 55% or 0.5. So you can see like 50.5. So that's how we use variables getter and setter. So yep, it's pretty much we cover in the blueprint as well. So see how mass for the normal simple logic. We'll use a clean code in the next time. Okay, so okay guys, thank you for watching this video, and in the next video I'll show you or talk about other features of the blueprint as well. Thank you for watching this. Bye bye. Namaste.